Crow Hogan is one of the most popular characters in Yu-Gi-Oh! Not just in the 5Ds era, but all of Yu-Gi-Oh! And it shows, as there is a lot of Blackwing cards. Blackwings are an archetype of dark, winged beast monsters that, like birds, focus on swarming the field. While people write off most of their cards as utter garbage, and for good reason, from their inception all the way to the present, they've had numerous regional YCS and Shonen Jump level tops and wins. In this video, I'll be focusing on their most powerful main deck monster cards, and looking at what made Blackwings flock to the top. Blackwing, Sure the Blue Flame, could special summon any Blackwing monster with 1500 or less attack from the deck after it destroys a monster by battle and sends it to the graveyard. While its ability to fetch a lot of the best Blackwing monsters is great, such as a tuner for a synchro play, it's just a bit too slow. It has to survive to the battle phase, successfully attack and destroy a monster, which can't be a token, by the way, and then, finally, it can fetch a monster from the deck. It requires a bit too much setup nowadays for too little reward, and it's basically unusable turn 1. But it was a decent beat stick for the time and could set up some really good plays in main phase 2 if everything went well. Blackwing, Sirocco the Dawn, was used in some earlier builds of Blackwings. While on the surface, it's just a worse Cyber Dragon, its ability to boost up a single Blackwing monster to crazy levels of attack could lead to a quick OTK. However, after a few more sets of support for Blackwings, they got better normal summons to commit to the board that actually facilitate their plays, and so Sirocco's time was short-lived. Kalut the Moon Shadow is basically an in-archetype Honest. By discarding itself, it can boost a Blackwing monster's attack by 1400 if it attacks or is attacked. Can you believe it's even spent time on the ban list? Its existence made for some interesting bluffing techniques, where your opponent could never be sure if you had a Kalut in hand when attacking into one of your Blackwings, and this could bait out some battle traps preemptively. Kalut is a simple card that in its heyday would make for some interesting mind games, but in modern Yu-Gi-Oh! It's just not good at all. It's a relic of when monsters would actually be removed in the battle phase, and in modern Yu-Gi-Oh! That's hardly a thing. Blizzard the Far North allows you to special summon a level 4 or lower Blackwing monster from your graveyard. While a bit slow, it facilitated a lot of the lower level synchro plays back in the day. It's a fair card, but just because it's fair for the time of 2011, 2012 means that it has not aged well into the current era. I'd say it's okay as a one of, but most of the time you'll find it to be a brick in your hand. Blackwing Vayu, the Emblem of Honor, is one of the coolest tuner monsters in the game. It can't be used as synchro material when it's on the field, but when it's in the graveyard, you can target one non-tuner Blackwing monster in your graveyard, banish both this card and that target, and if you do, special summon one Blackwing synchro monster from your extra deck whose level equals the total level of the banished monsters, but its effects are negated. Being able to synchro summon with monsters in your graveyard was revolutionary. While the monster's effects are negated, you could still continue to climb the synchro ladder with your monster and others' tuners. Vayu helped to extend plays or just put strong bodies on the board. Now, there are a bunch of Blackwings that have the ability to special summon themselves when there's another Blackwing monster on the field. Beyond that, most of their effects are not really anything special or amazing besides being able to put a body on board for synchro plays. But I want to give a big mention, a huge mention, to Blackwing Gale the Whirlwind. Beyond its ability to special summon itself if there's another Blackwing monster on your side of the field, once per turn you can target one face-up monster your opponent controls that target's attack and defense become half its current attack and defense, and not even till the end of the turn, just forever. While attack and defense values don't really matter in Yu-Gi-Oh! For the most part, this attack reduction actually came in clutch. Stardust Dragon, a popular synchro monster people would go into, has 2500 attack, half of that is 1250, and Gale has 1300 attack. That means that Gale can beat over a Stardust, which is huge. Gale saw its time on the ban list because even non-Blackwing decks could run a copy or two because its utility was amazing. As a tuner, it was basically unmatched in its time. Now we get into some Blackwing monsters that were used and abused beyond its own archetype. These monsters have generically strong, if not broken effects, which have facilitated some absurdly unfair combos in Yu-Gi-Oh! The first we'll be looking at is Blackwing Zephyros the Elite. It's got a simple effect where if this card is in your graveyard, you can return one face-up card you control to the hand, special summon this card, and if you do, take 400 damage. You can only use this effect of Blackwing Zephyros the Elite once per duel. The most powerful effect of this card is not the special summon effect, though that's neat. Its most powerful ability is that it can bounce your own card back to your hand. Effects like this have been mostly banned or eroded in Yu-Gi-Oh! Because it lets you reactivate card effects continuously. Cards like Giant Trunade are banned for this very reason, and monsters like Bryanak have been eroded to prevent this kind of looping. While Zephyros is ridiculously strong, its effect being a hard once per duel is nice at keeping it in check. Blackwing Gofu the Vague Shadow Mates tokens. 2 of them. It's been banned since the beginning of Link format because it's pretty much an instant Link 3. While the best card it could initially make was the powerful, the unstoppable Decode Talker, if it was out today, it could do much more degenerate things. Good thing it's banned. It was barely used in Blackwings because for some odd reason, the tokens can't be used as synchro material. Okay, but why? What are Blackwings supposed to do with 2 useless tokens? Nothing, that's what. Also, it has an effect where you could banish this card and 1 or more face-up non-tuners you control, then target 1 Blackwing synchro monster in your graveyard whose levels equal the total levels of the banished monsters you had on the field, and then special summon it, and if you do, it's treated as a tuner. And I doubt more than 2 people on this planet even knew it had a second effect. I didn't, so don't feel bad about it. So we'll leave Gofu at that. It's a broken card, but not for Blackwings. The last card we'll be looking at in this video is Blackwing Steam the Cloak. Its effect is that if this face-up card leaves the field, special summon 1 Steam token. If this card is in your graveyard, you can tribute 1 monster. Special summon this card from your graveyard. You can only use this effect of Blackwing Steam the Cloak once per duel. If this card summoned this way is used as synchro material monster, all other synchro material monsters must be Blackwing monsters. This card, like Gofu, mates Link plays. This card would be utterly broken if Needle Fiber was in the TCG, because of all the shenanigans that could be done with it. But for now, it's fine. Its revival effect being once per duel keeps it in check. But once Needle Fiber comes out, all hell will break loose, and I wouldn't be surprised if this thing was on the ban list. That'll do it for the Blackwing main deck monsters. The newest support for Blackwings, in my opinion, was not very good, which is why I didn't talk about it in this video. While researching for this video, I could only find one top with it, and that was at a regional level. I think that it was just an issue of too little, too late. So, for the next Meta Masters, I'll be finishing Blackwings by talking about their good spells and traps, and also their synchro monsters. So until next time, like, comment, sub, etc, etc. See you in the next one. Bye bye.